they should release Nnamdi Kanu. It appeared as if to say that once Nnamdi was arrested, banditry will end, crisis will end, killing will end. Instead, after he had been arrested, it worsened. Situations are worsening every day, which now proves that holding Nnamdi Kanu has not provided any solution. So I am pleading with this uplifted hand that God will do miracles for us and grant us a Savior who can do the miracle of bringing him out from that prison, that DSS custody, not prison, DSS custody. Holding him there is worsening this country. Let the leaders not say the Igbos are suffering. Igbos are part of this country. Our situation should affect the whole nation. Otherwise, why one Nigeria? If you are negligent over our suffering and think that Igbos are alone, they are on their own, then why do we still belong to Nigeria? If anything that can make the Igbos every Monday, nobody goes to school, not even the government could come out. Something beyond the government control, and the federal government is silent. Is it not wickedness? And the poor masses are suffering. Our youth who have no jobs, their problems are increasing. I don't want to talk about the keke issue in Enugu until I hear the story very well. Because when there is no job, people should not perpetuate more joblessness. No. There are things we cannot accommodate on this land. So anybody who makes a law that should not be made should be ready to face the consequences. The poor masses should not continue to suffer and suffer and suffer. And I am pleading with the leaders of Enugu State. I'm available for them. If they make any law without consulting me, let them not expect that I will consult them before I make any statement. God will not forget the leaders. If we are watching our youth dying like this, we are watching our parents suffering, there is no job. Means there is no job. Any government that cannot create job for the subject has failed. From the federal to the state to the local government. Watch our youth render jobless. Otherwise, more crime wave will hit this city. There are people, if they don't go out with their keke, their parents will not eat. Their wives will not eat. Their children will not eat. Their sick mothers will not take any medicine. If you catch any keke person that committed any crime, punish the person. You cannot generalize the sin of one to everybody. No. That's what we call in philosophy fallacy of realistic generalization. It's a fallacy. The action is fallacious. We are waiting the banning of Sienna in Enugu because those people who are killing the police, they use Sienna. They use Lexus, at times Highlander, at times Mercedes, at times Jeep, and they will always wind up. Most of the time, Hilux, tinted and untinted. Therefore, God will punish all the leaders in Enugu if they keep silent and the poor masses are suffering. What actually is happening? The poorest person on this land can become the richest person. And the richest can become the poorest. I was watching the CNN today, Look at Ukrainian people, even the millionaires, all of them running towards the train underground for safety. No more poor, no more rich. Everybody has been equal by a war nobody envisaged. Something can happen in this country. And even the governors, the senators, the House of Arrest members, the chiefs, the youth, everybody will be running together into the bush. It can happen. It can happen. God is not happy. All you that used to communicate, to tell them that I said, God is not happy. The Holy Spirit is not happy. Let the church leaders stand up and condemn evil. Otherwise, the church leaders on the Enugu will suffer. Both in the Methodist, both in the Anglican, both in the Catholic, it doesn't matter. All of them. What is happening? They will suffer. Let them stop thinking that their comfort zone can be perpetuated. A little mistake like this, you'll be hiding in one room with your parish priest and your bishop. The youth, when the youth are not employed and engaged, those who made them idle are multiplying calamities. The only way to solve this kind of problem, create more jobs. Anybody who has anything doing, encourage the person once it is good. All their shops, this is not the time to knock down anybody's shop. Manage them for now. The situation, the time is evil. Things are too hard. I know that after this message, they will try to attack it. If you attack it, you are wasting your time. Otherwise, why are we priests? Why are we not married? Why don't we have biological children? Because we have sworn an oath to take care of you. To be your mouthpiece. Anywhere I go say and go to Buluchuku. Nke ya ji were igwe n'igwe na-eme n'obodo Nigeria. Geenụ ntị. Ihe a na-afịa kịta. Ka ọ ga-esi wee be. Ọ ga onye mata ọ mafere ibe ya. I cannot understand why we shall have everything and lack everything. Millions of our intelligent graduates are now moving out. Even in the Ukraine that is falling, Nigerians are still struggling to go back to Ukraine. No? That is better to go to Ukraine than to stay in Nigeria. Those in Russia, I call to begin to go say, what are we coming to do there? If all our intelligence travel out, those who are in Nigeria, somebody told me yesterday, there are those who are trapped, those who cannot move out. Look at the kind of killing and killing and killing. No plan for the subjects. They are busy talking about the election 2023. They don't know that God can do something and that 2023 can be a dark year. Let them do the needful for the poor masses. In one state, few days ago, armed robbers moved from one bank to another bank. Not less than 4 banks. Carried the whole money, and the police could not arrest one. Okay. Was that through Keke? Or Keke Kejime? Okay. So vehicle truck should be banned. The policemen that were killed last time, were they killed during the night? Was it not during the day? So banning of vehicles in the night, what is the advantage? There are people who, when they retire from the official job by day, they could do one or two things by night to get a little money. Suffering should not be increased. How should parents pay for the school fees? As for after graduation, is there any job? Because very soon now, it will be that Farambaka is fighting the government. That will be the jargon. If you are saying that, you are wasting your time. Oh. You are wasting your time. I want to assure you, if you want to face the wrath of God, invite me for any meeting over this. Whoever. The same promises that are giving offerings. Father Jabamoto, the priest is living in the house. The priest is living a good life. It's because of your purses. The little you people have, you support us. Why should you people be suffering and we are silent? That is wickedness of another level. The politicians are gradually causing anti-clericalism. They are imploding inside the church's sanctity. Before you know it, they will adulterate us and they will go away. Politicians, most of them belong somewhere. They belong to somewhere before they come to us. And we think we are dealing with people. Most of them are cultists. Some of them are in Ubuni and one cult or the other. They just come around us to cover face. Otherwise, how could a leader be so hard-hearted? You'll be watching your subjects, no food, nothing. And you are happy. Premature death of our elders. And that was why the reaction was going on after last 2 weeks' message. That our priests should not be taxing you, people die. And people have even mouth to respond to that. Shameless people. Is it because I decided to be calm for a while? The same Mbaka that embattled Abacha, embattled Yaradua. Just came out of the house. What a rubbish. Call me for any meeting over my prophetic word. I will not answer you again. Then the battle will be you and God. And anybody who engages himself in any meeting on how to attack Farambaka will be punished spiritually, will be disgraced publicly. So you better go and do the needful and leave the man of God alone, or you suffer. Remember 1 Samuel 26 verse 10. As God in heaven lives, I'm thinking about no job, no job, no job. Why didn't Nnamdi Kanu leave London to come to cry here? We are asked to go to farm, go and farm, go and farm. Most of us went to the farm. Is it because I decided for the sake of peace to be calm? One of these faithful Mondays, sit at home. How many hundreds of cows, thousands of cows entered my farm and destroyed the whole crops? It kept a level whereby the policemen had to arrest those Fulani cattle ranchers, rearers. And I said, that case, before they blow Farambaka's name up again. How many women and our men have been killed in the farm? And somebody came to cry over it. And that person becomes a terrorist. But those who have been killing our people are not terrorists. And you think Allah is sleeping. Inshallah, vengeance must come. It's a matter of time. Let them not think that everything is over. Today you are on that government seat, tomorrow you will not be there. So what happens after? Okay. When God can visit you with one incurable sickness, the whole money you packed, you will never make use of it. So are you attacking Fanamaka over what? When the government has failed, the government has failed. The church should be the watchdog, talking spiritually. Look at our youths, like sheep, like sheep without shepherds, like sheep without shepherds. Our young men and women have now involved themselves in idolatry, in charm making. Okukana was in an cults. Have we priests not failed in our apostolate? In our very before, our children are involving themselves in idolatry.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to some of you, and to all BIAFRANDS depending on your time zone. We welcome you all to yet another edition of our joint broadcast that comes twice in a week. And from my very end, I say, me come mufo, e komdo, yabasidion mufo. So, this custom. I will pass the mic to my comrades for them to do their introduction in line with the way it is displayed on the screen. Please do us the favor of hitting the like button and the share. Share and bring other people in, because when you hit the like button, it pops up the broadcast to go out to other people. Mazi Okonkwo, please grace the house in 1 minute.
Good evening, Biafrans. Please, someone should mute him or herself. Good evening, Biafrans. We greet all of you, and we welcome all of you depending on your time zone, anywhere you are. Please, you see, as our faces are here, that is how we brought you different matter this night. So one of the things we would like everyone to do is to respond to the key buttons of anywhere you can share this broadcast. Share it to your TikTok, share it everywhere. Kelechi is here, myself, and many other comrades. Just search for anywhere you can click the button, share, and subscribe on every autopiloted IPOB Media Warriors, so that you can be getting the updates and many other things that are coming. So our leader is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the only incorruptible leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, who was rendited against his will, and we are here to agitate for the freedom of Biafra and also for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because of our time and speed, I welcome all my comrades, and I will ask you, please share this broadcast. It's important. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mazi, for being concise. I salute you and I welcome you to the studio. Mazi, Ugo, please. The mic is yours. 1 minute.
Thank you, Biafrans. Thank you, Sonny. I greet everybody. All of you, they hear, they look me, they see me, they eye me. Special greetings to you all, Biafrans, from your domain. And my regard to all my comrades in the studio this evening. Every Biafran, those men on ground, everybody, anywhere you are adding your own from. I greet and respect you. And I want us all to remember that why we are all into this today is because our leader was abducted. That opened our eyes. And I want us to still remember that our leader is still with those that kidnapped him. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mazi Ugo. I welcome you to the studio. Mazi Kelechi, the mic is yours, please. 1 minute.
Thank you so much, my fellow comrades, Mazi Sani, Mazi Okonkwo, Mazi Ugo. And thank you, Biafrans, for joining us today. It's another special day for us to talk and rub minds. And of course, we thank God for the seat at home of today, very successful. I greet you all wherever you are, whether in Biafra land or outside Biafra land. And we say we're going to have a good time together today and see as we march to our freedom and as we do what we have to do together, to see that we actually get to our freedom. Thank you all for joining. God bless you all as we ride on.
Thank you very much.
My YouTube is not on. I'm trying to check it. I'm trying to check it.
Yeah, they're concerned. They have to do that.
Yes.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mazi Kelechi, please try to fix your studio because the audience are complaining. Ajibo said, we know the greeter. Oh, Ajibo, please, we don't greet you. We greet everybody waiting for the comment section.
So they asked her what you give you way yesterday, we've been back there. Get on your friend, go club.
Ajibo, see your life. See, you don't even call us or give us anything. Just come here to come bamboo us. I beg, take a easy. We salute every Biafran waiting for the comment section and the ones who will join us later. Please, if there are some people we cherish so much in this Biafran struggle, it is you that is sharing the broadcasts and the publications that we make about our freedom and liberation. So we hold you guys in high esteem, and we know if we play with you now because they're very, very important. So we know if we call everybody name as they plenty they go because people are joining at impulse. So we say make una dalu, make una sosongo, make una thank you very much for everything we una they do. Make una continue to do it.
Make una realize
before we delve into the matter of the day, today was sit at home. And we need to give kudos to Biafrans for their steadfastness of all that they have done. Please, I saw a message coming in that someone said Ireland WhatsApp, autopilot contact is not enlisted yet. Please try to send us so that we can be able to include it. So, Mazo Konkwa, please, you have the mic to grace Biafrans for their resilience on the sit at home, which is another nail to tell the whole world that we are fully ready for our freedom. Thank you.
Absolutely. There is no negotiation about this. And we want to thank Biafra for the compliances because they understand that the time we are now is on the critical junction that everyone must participate. Even your goat and chicken, everything's supposed to sit at home. Because when during the time of Noah, even the animals, the off was free. So we want to thank all of you, and we want you to begin to spread the message across individually, become a megaphone and a microphone to let people know that sit at home is penetrating and it is the greatest weapon we have. When we drop it, we will be a slave forever. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. God bless you, Baku Baku. Mazi Kelechi, please, you have the mic. Your vote of thanks and encouragement to Biafrans for doing the needful.
Yes, it's really encouraging that Biafrans are beginning to understand the preachings and the expectations. We know that basically what Biafrans, an average Biafran should do is just to obey instructions. That's all you need to do, because the freedom will come by obedience. Every time humanity became free, the concept of obedience was adopted. When Moses started the freedom movement, the concept of obedience was what God was looking for. When Joshua started, the concept of obedience was what God was looking for. When Christ came, the concept of obedience. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is here, and with the instructions from his mouthpiece or from the spokesperson of Biafra, instructions from the realm of the spirit comes to us and we follow. So we thank you all for really getting along in the sit at home and how much effort you are putting in spite of the discomfort, in spite of this is the least we can do to sacrifice and for our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and for our freedom. Thank you all. We appreciate you all for being part of this and making it grand. And we say we love you. Thank you all for being great about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Someone greeted us in Italiano. Buonasera, buonasera.
Buonasera.
So, Mazugo, please, the mic is yours.
Your kudos to not give me greet for my own language. Who you made
Wait till I go talk. Wait till I go talk.
I beg no vex, talk your own language.
Which Calabar be?
Who you dak Idren we stand here and we have who you both kappa for you Idren. So luister naar ons en we zeggen te vrede Michael. Dankjewel.
Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien, muy bien. Gracias, gracias.
How come what is say me and you come from the same place?
No be your village they talk about. They talk about where they live now.
No, na me and Aziboston Denan and the King Wasolomon, all of us will follow the same thing.
Okay, now I know say you wear mask, so no be your real face be this.
No, I'm sure I refresh now.
Okay, I see.
247, please, you have the mic.
My mask away now.
Say thank
Wetin
you
I
to
go
Biafra.
talk?
What you go talk, be say, just look at this your face the way you like this. Tell Biafra and say you did very happy.
Are they happy now?
You go ahead,
Are
the
they
people
happy?
say they shop on Kwabi.
Yes.
This
Are they very,
Madam
very happy? Because Ajiboson, the way they look for trouble, they here today.
his
I
sister
never
never
see
come.
I never see Martina.
His sister never come. Bless you,
Well. Sonny, before you drink water, you go know say you supposed drink am with cup. Eh? Me with my small son, whenever reach 3 years, they work out for road. You see where they drop bed for wall. They show me, say, "Sis, daddy, look at the bed." I say, "Okay, bed." He said, "No, that is not bed, it's bed." Say,
Then,
He said, "It's bed." I said, I said
Right on, right on. This side, you don't use
honestly,
your
drink
own
water.
don't finish.
If we
honestly,
pour
I dey
water
tell you,
for this side, the
Nachima,
water
come
go
for
finish before we
Nachima,
drink am.
Nachima.
Hi, Shima, you see? Shima
Yeah,
na
go and
teacher.
watch me a mofo.
Shima na this
247,
teacher.
your time they go. Your time they go. Right on, please.
By time they go now, the same thing we did here. So I am happy. I'm happy. Yesterday I was in the hospital. Honestly, I never knew I would come out because when as immediately I got into the hospital, they carry me, put me for wheelchair. I say, hey, ha. I was thinking, how do I get, waiting, carry me like yourself. Honestly,
So,
I was praying, God, please,
so
God Almighty, please. I
maybe
don't want
Simon
to
again,
sleep
they drink Hennessy, now you.
so, and God did miracle. Honestly,
Amen.
within 5 hours, I became myself again, and I was given the option of if you want, you can go home, and if you want, you can sleep here. I said no, I don't want to sleep here. I'm going home. I'm okay. And till now, I'm okay and I'm blessed. So I'm happy, Biafrans. We are here again, and we are going to open our mouth and we'll go talk as it they. We know the hide mouth, like this is Biafra. This is government of the people, by the people, for the people, not the other way around. People for the government, people for the people. No, we are doing whatever you see we do here now is just a practice of what is to come. We are going home into the promised land, and we are believing God Almighty that come any other day, Mazinan Dekalu will step out of DSS dungeon. That day, he is not going back there. That's my belief. I want you to join your faith with me. If you sabi pray, join them. If you sabi do juju, go do and make it come out. No do juju, make sonny bia no grow again. Do juju, make Nnamdi come out, make we get Biafra. So I salute every one of us once again, and we are going home come 2023. Fundraising is coming, and thank God the
Hey,
fundraising
don't go
money.
that side yet. Don't go that side yet. Drink water. See,
Drink
I
water,
don't
drink
talk
Mazi
before.
water.
Sonny, Mazi Sonny, I've been trying to connect my YouTube from here. There's no option for me. I've been trying to use Chrome. It's not yet working for me. Well, let's Biafrans pardon me because it's not my
Biafrans,
fault.
pardon Kelechi today. He get waiting and go see. So from that place, they come out. They collect
Kelechi,
some.
after I will show you because I think you're
Okay,
not demand email from you. Email.
okay,
When they
okay,
demand email, you click the email and they start up. I will show you.
okay, okay.
Okay. Make una know disorganize this studio for me.
Okay.
I
Kelechi,
need the
remove,
year.
remove this Oyendu. Kelechi, remove this Oyendu where they hang up. I beg, I no like him again.
I need the
Don't,
I
year.
think the man is free according to your anticipation.
You don't
yeah,
say
I believe he's
Biafrans,
free.
you don't
Remove
say
him.
into the forget.
I'm through.
Let's our
Kelechi,
people to the
use
forget.
your head, break him. Use your head, break him. Just a little bit like
Make
this.
Okay,
una
okay.
leave
Yeah.
Una leave Kelechi with picture there. Don't go cause
Let's our
trouble.
people to the forget this thing.
All right. Thank you very much, comrade. Please let us be attentive so that when I ask questions, we're going to tell me what happened yesterday. You go answer me in line with what I asked. Because 247 now, you're going to tell us you did sick yesterday. When I tell us, thank Biafrans for doing sit at home. Now you forget what you are.
Somebody say, Mazi Okonkwo should ask me why my face is dark.
Na light, na light.
This place is dark and the light is not actually.
Na light. Even me myself, my light is not so bright.
All right. Biafrans all over the world, and especially those back home who are taking the bullet every day and are in the forefront of this very struggle. That is why at times I don't like to address ourselves in the media as media warriors. I prefer to say media personnel, because the main warriors are the people that are taking the bullet back home. You that closes your business and you leave your comfort, and then you decide to do something for the freedom, and you are feeling the brunt of one Nigeria facing you to the eye, kudu kudu every day. Now be the main warriors. Then you now see the most gallant people where they inside bush. When we say they know they think of their own children, but they are thinking of you, your own children and your own family. So that the criminals and the terrorists will be flushed out of our land. We say thank you to all of you back home, devoting everything and sacrificing everything. It is a sign to tell the whole world and the entire contraption of one Nigeria that we are fully ready, that everything that we are using, we are ready to make use of them. So thank you very much and keep up the good work. All right, let us delve into the very matter of the day so that we wouldn't consume much time, because we may likely be doing some reading because of the kind of document that we have to portray to Biafrans to understand our cause of being here today. As our title rightly says, Britain's role in the massacre of the Biafran people in one Nigeria. This is what we want to puncture some wounds so that it will remind you and then reignite some fire in you for you to remember the reasons why we say we must break out of one Nigeria. An election must not hold in 2023. So when you remember some of these massacre and some of these evil things that they did to us, it will rekindle your brain and your veins will be shouting no election in Biafra land without anybody telling you. So this is a declassified information from the UK declassified website. And for us to be able to read it more better for you, for it to be more detailed, we will switch over to another reader that will be more eloquent for us. So please bear with us as we delve into this very segment. And we will be doing much of reading and explanation today. So please, my comrades in the house, one person will do the reading while you will just be noting your points, so that when we finish reading, you will be picking your point to make your comments one after another.
No,
So,
no, Sonny, no, Sonny, it will not go like that, because
how you want them? How you want
as
them?
we discuss, it will better we read. If we read to any point, if anybody that is reading, if I notice a point, I will ask you to stop. You stop. I explain. Or if you yourself that is reading find a point, you can stop, we discuss it. Or if I find a point, I can ask you to stop. Let us look into this. I think it will be better, because by the time you finish reading all of them, we go forget them all.
That is why I said everybody should pick like a pen and paper. You'll be noting your points, because if we want to go by read and analyze, it will take a lot of time. That is
Who
why
not
we
go there? Who go write for me now?
good call Chima. Chima go write for you. Now what for you?
One person should read it and we follow. It's not a problem.
Because of time constraint.
No one person read it. Kelechi is a very good reader.
Okay,
But
Kelechi should write for us now.
Okay, I don't start reading. How Britain's Labour government facilitated the massacre of Biafrans in Nigeria. to protest its oil's interests. To protest its oil's interests. That was the main objective of why Britain decided to aid Nigeria to kill Biafrans because of oil and gas. All right, let us read the paragraph by paragraph. So please note so that when we get to some points, you can start making your point. On the 50th anniversary of the end of the Biafran War, the world's worst humanitarian crisis in the late 1960s, declassified British files show that Harold Wilson's government secretly harmed and backed Nigeria's aggression against the secessionist region. These are our children. You can see from this picture how they were stretching cup just to get water and food, likely pap. This is how the massacre was going. The then Labour government secretly provided large quantities of arms to the Nigerian federal government, which by early 1970 had crushed an attempt by the country's eastern region of Biafra to gain independence, which it had declared in May 1967. During the 3 years of war, up to 3 million people died as Nigeria enforced a blockade on Biafra, causing widespread starvation amid considerable international opposition to the conflict. British policy was mainly shaped by its oil interests. Its oil interests. The classified government documents from the time show, in quote, our direct interests are trade and investment. These are the words of the British, including an important stake by Shell stroke BP in the eastern region. The Foreign Office noted a few days before the outbreak of the war in 1967. Investment by Shell stroke BP, then a joint company in Nigeria which was partly owned by the British government, amounted to around 200 million pounds at the time. The company was the largest producer of oil in Nigeria, most of which was in Biafra land. Shell have much to lose if the federal military government do not achieve the expected victory, George Thomas, Labour's Commonwealth Minister, noted in August 1967. He added, the sole immediate British interest in Nigeria is that the Nigerian economy should be brought back to a condition in which our substantial trade and investment in the country can be further developed, and particularly so we can regain access to important oil installations. UK supplies of arms, which eventually enabled the Nigerian government to win the war, included millions of rounds of ammunition, hundreds of machine guns and grenades, thousands of mortar and artillery bombs, aircraft and armored personnel carriers. These supplies were massively stepped up while Labour Prime Minister Harold Wilson was telling Parliament that Britain was supplying arms to Nigeria at the same level as before. He made the false claim that there was no special provision for war. The decisions to supply arms and ammunition were taken at a time when it was clear they were being used against civilians. Wilson's agreement to supply patrol boats in 1967 was done in the knowledge that this would help the government maintain the sea blockade against Biafra. And this is the map that was shown as at then, where you see Benin, you see Nigeria here, you see Cameroon, and then you see Biafra mapped out here. Declaration of war. The Nigerian government under General Gowon Yakubu Jack, who had seized power in a military coup in July 1966, began military operations to defeat the Biafran secessionists in July 1967. His well-equipped federal army of over 85,000 men supplied by Britain. Are you getting the point? His well-equipped federal army of over 85,000 men supplied by Britain and the Soviet Union, among others, took on a volunteer Biafran force under Lieutenant Colonel Chukwuemeka Ojukwu, the military governor of the Eastern region. I hope you people are noting some point too. Much of whose equipment initially came from captured Nigerian supplies. In the run-up to Gowon's declaration of war, British officials made clear to the Nigerian government that they supported the country's unity. Labour Minister George Thomas told the Nigerian High Commissioner in London in April 1967, for example, that the federal government had our sympathy and our full support, but hoped the use of force against the East could be avoided. Britain initially refused Gowon's request for military support to target Biafran port. By 1967, however, the new British High Commissioner in Lagos, Dr. David Hunt, wrote in a memo to London that the only way of preserving unity of Nigeria is to remove Ojukwu by force. He said the Biafran leader was committed to remaining the ruler of an independent state and reiterated that UK interest lay in firmly supporting the federal government. On 1st July 1967, Gowon asked Britain for jet fighter and bomber aircraft, 6 fast boats and 24 anti-aircraft guns. Britain rejected the aircraft and boats, but agreed to supply the anti-aircraft guns. The Deputy High Commissioner in Enugu, Biafra's main city, noted that supplying the anti-aircraft guns would be seen as British backing for the Gowon regime, and they could also take on an offensive role of mounted in an invasion fleet. The British government news department was instructed to stress the defensive nature of these weapons and to avoid publicity on their export from Britain. High Commissioner Sir David Hunt said that it would be better to use civil aircraft to deliver these guns, secured agreement from Nigerians that there will be no publicity. Faced with Gowon's complaint about Britain not supplying more arms, Prime Minister Wilson agreed in mid-July to supply him with the fast patrol boats in the knowledge they will help the government maintain the blockade against Biafra. Wilson wrote to Gowon saying that we have demonstrated in many ways our support for your government and as the legal government of Nigeria and our refusal to recognize the secessionists. Wilson also told Gowon that Britain does not intend to put any obstacle in the way of orders for reasonable quantities of military materials of types similar to those you have obtained here in the past. Let me stop here for now and let you guys comment so far. Because if I want to read and then analyze and explain, we will not leave this place. That is why I just want to read to some pace. You people will pick some points and then you come back hitting on them one after another. So, who goes first? Mazi Okonkwo, I give you the mic. What did you pick out from all that?
Well, I want to thank Biafrans once again. Please let us mute ourselves so that we can communicate very well. Thank you. There's a noise in the background. There are noise in the background. Is
247, please mute yourself. Kelechi, mute
Ugo,
yourself.
can you mute yourself, please? Yes, thank you. Very clear now. It's very balanced. So thank you, Biafrans and lovers of freedom. Like as I said before, let me do it speedily because, you know, we have a lot of things and the people you are seeing here are the real autopilot media. We have come here to not to expose because the one who have written this script here have done it all. So let me pick 2 points that I understand there. When you talk about the BP and the Shell existence in Nigeria and their relationship, you know, you see, according to the script here, the Shell and the two companies meet together and call them a certain kind of name. That was when the amalgamation started. That was when the amalgamation started. So the interest was when the Shell and BP was fully established in that same country that does not belong to them. So when we look at it here, you see also I start to see when Aparawasone was reading, he mentioned taking Ojukwu out by force. You still see that what British look into is those who are going to expose the eyes of the people because, you know, the Fulanis are nomadians. They don't understand anything. And they have already intimidated the real Hausas and subject us with all kinds of political materials they have. It is very horrible. And why we are opening your eyes before I continue in the short minutes is that when you go through this particular write-up here, this exposition, you will have every God to stand and say, instead of election, let it cost us anything. We have been subjugated, we have been killed. In the book of Philemon, verse 1:6 or 1:16, he said, we are no longer a slave, we are free people. And that is why you must stand up and face your oppressor for your oppressor to leave you. And these people are still oppressing us. The same initiative they have on removing Ojukwu by force, who will be the person that can prevent all this evil. The same initiative also they have on this New Testament of planning everything to remove Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Do you think it is Janjaweed that kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? No, it is the same people. It is the same root. It is the same thing. It is the same monarch. We must not allow anybody to negotiate our freedom. This is the time that we have to stand. Do you know, Sonny, that this script that you have been reading is something that have been hidden from all the students, everyone that went to school in Nigeria? But we thank God for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that all these things begin to come out and we begin to see everything that have been done against the indigenous people of Biafra. That's why Nasio Fontaine, he said, the secret they hide many days will soon come back to the light. And we thank God that Chukwuka Biama is now revealing everything. Now it is left for our people to look into this script. And I know that Aparawasone still has some videos he's going to show here. So make your spirit boil so that you will not temper to dialogue on the seat at home, so that you must not allow us to push you to say no election in that zoological republic. We must free ourselves, and this is the time. Now ask yourself, why is the British not talking about Mazen Nandekan, who was rendited? Why are they not coming up and said, if it is a white British that was kidnapped in Nigeria, they will send a pure delegates because it's their own citizen, the white body. So we have to open our eyes and know that something is cooking, and British hand is heavily on it, both the Old Testament and the New Testament. Let me hold it here until we continue again. Mazi, sorry, thank you.
Thank you very much. Mazi Kelechi, please, the mic is yours.
Thank you for the opportunity. And I once again want to say, Biafrans, you're welcome. You see, the relative implication of what is being read to us today, what has been read to us, is actually for us to be able to, juxtaposition or try to place what we are going through, side by side with what has happened in history. And of course, basically in history, we can see the fundamental...
Mazi Kelechi, please,
Yes.
don't be angry with us. Try to curtail your diction. That is your choice of words. To be like to a layman. Make you know use too many
Okay.
We will run for studio here now.
Yes.
Use
Now,
a layman grammatical role, please.
all right, sir, I will do that. I think I need to communicate so that I can communicate, yes. Now, if you observe this write-up, Biafrans, because it is so painful that we actually sometimes don't, we need to be seeing such things so that it can read some stuff to us and make us remember some things. If you can sense the language in this script that's just read, you will discover one thing. 1, interest. 2, hypocrisy. And 3, desperation. Let me talk on these 3. 1, interest. 2, hypocrisy. 3, desperation. Now, the interest here fundamentally is oil. That means business. And if you want to look at it also critically, you will discover that Britain or the UK, let me say Britain for now, actually saw us as products for transaction. That means they could do anything to us as Biafrans. They don't care what happens to us as long as they have access to what we have. So what they needed to do is if they would get the oil and administer the oil appropriately for their own use and benefit, they need to get us locked up in a structure that would keep us dumb and restricted from saying some things we need to say. So they had to bring the concept of the amalgamation to keep us bound. As
fear projection, fear.
Yes, that would help us. Yes, that would help to instill that fear. Of course, the Bible says fear is a torment. So the concept of fear gives us, we have been locked up by that, and we have been put, under that strategy or that structure of amalgamation. So now, which means that as much as the interest or the basic interest is the oil and the money and the resources they want to get, they actually has made us products also of their desires. So when they made us individuals locked up in that false amalgamation, they actually sold us as products. So what they did, just like they have Shell and of course and all of that, they were administering the oil. They needed to bring us together so that they can also have people who serve their interest as executive members to control us. So using Shell in that Royal Niger company in regulating the oil, they use amalgamation in administering control over us. So 2 things were done: the controlling the resources, controlling the humans. So human resource control, natural resource control. The amalgamation was meant to control us in a business format. The use of Shell and the company, which of course covers both the Royal Niger, which covers both the oil and the human resources, actually is needed to control the oil. So Britain kept us at the point of a business system where now we are people who are the products for business, market. We are market products. As much as they take our oil, they are marketing us. They market us through the concept of the amalgamation. Amalgamation is a business system. It's a structure like the Shell and others controlling the oil. To control us also, they needed to bring us with these people so that they can keep us at a point of restriction, so that we would also be controlled in terms of business. That is how we got here. That is the problem we have found ourselves in. Now, let me not go further because I know as we read on, we'll have time because I've taken so much time. We are being controlled as business products as much as they are controlling our resources.
Thank you very much. Biafrans, please, I will plead our indulgence because the topic we are handling today is something that needs to get inside your veins.
Absolutely.
That is why we are giving ourselves time more than normal to digest the thing so that you go puncture somewhere. We want the thing puncture somewhere.
Abarawa, you know, this is the real cause of the problem. So everybody has to have patience with us.
Yeah. Please. Make una get patience with us. We want the thing puncture one tire where there somewhere so that we're gonna go here as a tire go do boom.
They can even share this broadcast to Twitter, tag any person and let them know that we are awake. We are no longer a slave.
So, Mazi 247, please, you have the mic.
Mike. Which mic? You give me mic. Go say make I talk. They tell me say you have the mic. Yeah. Which kind? Is it? They always talk. When it comes to
take a visit, you mustn't the day here now. Small time go tell you be Opa, something like that.
No. Ajibob will always do my back.
The mic they use already now.
I don't come. His sister there here. Let's know they don't enter.
Yeah, blessing. Thank you. I'm fine now. I'm better. I'm great. Yeah, I'm well. So, you know, when you want to talk about Nigeria, first of all, I want us to know that Nigeria is a project. Project and a handwork. Project na something where person don't manufacture or where still there for man under process. So you go ask yourself, this project, whose project is it? Who get them? Britain. You see, I used to tell us that Nigeria, sorry, just a moment. I used to tell us that Nigeria was not created or formed because they just want a collective of people. No, Nigeria was formed just to protect something. And what is it that they want to protect? Oil. Finish. Anything in this life that will stop a drop of oil, that will reduce a drop from the normal flow that goes into Britain. Britain is ready to do anything. If it means human sacrifice, if it means whatever it will take. That was why they successfully cleared Mazen Decalo under normal circumstances. Listen, Britain don't joke with their national. Anybody with a British nationality, they don't joke. If you like, be America. If you like, be America. They go come there, come collect you. Not to talk of kidnapping the citizen, British citizen. Why are we talking about Nigeria? Nigeria is just a joke. When the British came, somebody was saying they are white. They are not white. They are swine-colored people. So when they came to Africa, they saw us, they monitored, they studied us, they studied the Yoruba, they studied, and let me tell you the truth. Ask anybody, go back to history. Fulanese are not in the, let's assume we want to divide or map out Nigeria. You have Hausas, you have Kanuri, you have this one, you have Igbo, you have Calabar. There is no place, there is no space, there is no land map where you can group Fulanese into. So Fulanese were originally brought out from outside this their creation, outside this their project they called Nigeria. They were brought into this their creation just to manage their creation, just to hold it for them. If you look, the same what do you call it, P2B, waiting be P2B party name, LP, Labour Party. The same Labour Party of then is still the same Labour Party of today. What did they do yesterday? And what are they doing today? That is why when I tell us that these people are here to ruin us, and there's some foolish people like zombie dents will be out there telling you they want to take back what belonged to them. I wonder what belonged to them before that they want to now take back. Nigeria was not yours. You have never been a Nigerian. Just like Mazen Nandikalo said, I played that video this morning. Nandikalo was asking Dele, can you go to Britain and name Britain for them? Even to name a street in Britain, can you do that? Dele said no. Then why do you accept and want to kill me for something the British came here and created? If you look, the only problem we have is that we so now the only problem we have today is that the Britons are using our head. Whenever they find out that Mazi Sone Akparawa is the stubborn fly, they will do anything to remove it. That's why you see them using Kelechi today. That's why you see them using Abbas today, Abbas Mohammed today. They will use Abbas Mohammed to remove whoever and whatever like.
No, Kelechi.
No, this. I say Abbas.
Mohammed Abbas.
Abbas
Mohammed. Yeah.
I beg you, make.
No.
Make Biafrans don't think that don't come sabo.
So when they can't see anybody, see what they did to Juku. The same way they are still doing it today. The same way they have done it to Nandikano, and they are now ready to stop. They will continue doing it to whoever stands on the way. Had it not been that Simon is smart enough to destroy his passport, Nigerian passport, before the public, believe me, by now we might have been singing a different song. So when you are talking of Nigeria and the British interest, the only interest where British get for Nigeria is no other than what they have, what they gain. British is not interested in what you are, who you are, what you are going to be. British is only preserving and defending and protecting their interests, and waiting be their interest, the oil in your own papa house. That is why when I see some people, they are gladly accepting the offer of being megad in their own papa to guide them, over what belong to them. They are, listen, Nigeria is a joke, and Nigeria has not been existing, and Nigeria cannot exist, and Nigeria can never exist. Whoever believes Nigeria is going to work. I was watching something about P2B. They were asking P2B, do believe in referendum? P2B said no. There were about 5 of them. They were discussing about referendum, and P2B was the only person there discussing restructuring. And they were asking P2B, how can you restructure Nigeria? How are you going? My people, Nigeria no go work, and it will never work. And there is nothing go make Nigeria work. Listen, P2B cannot make Nigeria work. Labour Party cannot make Nigeria work. Labour Party is only an instrument to destroy Biafra, and we are not going to accept that. We are going to stand out where we stand, and there we will stand gidigam until we get Biafra. Until we get Mazen Nandekalo out, no retreat, no surrender. They won't.
All right, thank you very much, Mazi Owubiko. I don't know if you have followed up the conversation from the background. Mazi Owubiko, were you following up? Did you pick something? Can you comment or we wait? Oh, his network just blocked him out. Okay, sorry about that. So, dear friends, what I have to say, because as I was reading, I was just going at a very fast pace so that we can go with time. Britain actually, with the aid of the Soviet Union, equipped the Federal Military of Nigeria with over 85,000 men. That is one role. Then you now hear that the Biafran force under Lieutenant Colonel Chukwuemeka Ojukwu were what? Volunteers. So in that time, they had to give out something to be able to get men to fight for them in their name. And yet, it wasn't easy for them. We were
Abarawa,
just
sorry, Abarawa, I'm not trying to cut you off. Sorry, my brother. You see, there's a comment by Blessing Odo. So why Omar Diko was left? Because he's part of them. Are you getting it? So it came in my mind from this comment. Thank you. Right on.
all right. Talking about Omar Odiko. Omar Odiko was not even a British citizen. He was not using a British passport. He was using his own country's passport. But they interfered. They intervened in Omar Odiko's issue because Omar Odiko was not someone that was trying to take oil away from UK. Was not trying to stop gas away from UK. But because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is like the Ojukwu that they said here from the article we read, they said, let them map out a plan to take out Ojukwu because Ojukwu happens to be the one standing as their stumble block.
By force. So.
By force. So the war that they didn't even fight on their own, they had to give them men and then still equip them again. Another thing we should also understand is that their interest of oil is not something that they are ready to stop. It's like when you tell them, stop this, your interest of oil in one Nigeria. It's like you're trying to remove bread from their mouth and then carry stone blocking. But Biafran people are ready at this very time, in this very century, in this very age that we are ready to use everything to make sure we send these criminals and these sycophants out of Biafra land because what we have is what God gave to us. They did not give it to us. So why they now live where they are to come and take what we have by fire, by force, by destroying everything that we have? It's not going to happen. And Biafran people have stood up to say enough is enough. Let us also remember that the decision for Britain and the Soviet Union to have supplied arms to Nigeria then was when it was very clear that these ammunitions were being used against the civilians. And then Aaron Wilson went into this agreement to also bring the boat. This boat, which they brought in, this boat that they brought in 67, was to make sure that they helped the federal government of Nigeria to maintain that sea blockade that sea blockade that will stop the food supply from getting to the Biafran people so that the civilians will die of hunger while they continue to supply the Nigerian troops that they have supplied them with the weapons to reinforce them for them to continue. What point are we making from this broadcast? Puncturing these wounds for you to understand what Britain did then and why we are telling you no election in Biafra land. Thousands and many reasons why you don't need to allow this annihilation to continue, because if we venture allow this annihilation to continue, hey, we are not going to see Biafra anymore. And we are not going to see another man that is ready to do everything that you don't even think of and is behind bars now to sacrifice everything. His parents died because of this struggle. And many of our men have died. And as we speak, children are being killed in one Nigeria because we're not just fighting for the Biafran people. Biafrans are speaking for the entirely oppressed in one Nigeria and also in the entire Africa. Biafra is the light to every man. Because of our time, let us continue our reading. Mazio Biko, if your mic is okay and if your connection is stable now, you let us know so that we give you time to comment. And we hope you have been following up so that when you want to comment, you can know where to comment. Can you speak now?
Okay, but I was only since he's not yet ready. I remember something. Just give me 1 second. Let me ship it in.
Okay.
All these people that are shouting Obi, Obi, Obi. See, these British have two agendas in order to keep Nigeria still where we are. A very powerful two agendas. Number one is using Obi to mobilize you, and they titled his movement Obedient. Simply means that as a slave, you have no right to do what? To speak. You have to read the handwriting on the wall. And the second is using the Fulanese to wage us on our own heritage. It won't happen. The reason why we are making these broadcasts is to open the eyes of our people, whether you want to hear about Biafra or not. This is a doom that will befall who believe and who no believe. So now it is better for all of us to believe, whether you be pastor or anything. No, let us liberate ourselves here and forget this Obi. Obi will not change the, I could say, the concept of Usman Dan Fodia. Obi also will not stop the business of British to run in Nigeria. That's why Biafra has to leave. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mazio Ubiko, if your mic is okay and your connection is stable now, you may write on.
Yeah, thank you. Am I coming out well?
Very well, very well.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity. You know, I've been battling to come up online. So, according to all that is going on, I've been following up. You know, all we have been discussing here is all about the divide and rule. You know, what Britain brought to us after losing the war with it, they came back again and they bring what they call this divide and rule. And when you study the system of this divide and rule, you will see that the same divide and rule is inside us now. You know, as they go on, they remove Port Harcourt, they remove Edo, they remove every other part that made up Biafra, because they know how united Igbo people are and how united Biafrans are. They instill the strategy of divide and rule. When you see what they are doing today, they have infiltrated inside the family of IPOB, which Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is leading. How did they enter there? Through political solution. And after that, before all this thing is coming up, Buhari came up and he said, they are now only the dots. Is it not only 5 states? And even inside that 5 states, they are inside them. And why did the Buhari make this statement? It was because they handed Orji Uzor Kalu, governor of Abia State, I think in 1999. What is the agreement they have then? It was only for Odiozokalo to hand them over Umunnochi, which is the center of the dot. That is where Ruga begin to grow. The first place to legalize Ruga. And now you see how they have been growing up now. Begin to divide the family through political solution. They impose command and control and the amnesty. And when you go back again, trying to understand these people, you will get the real key from King James Version. You understand now? Because when Anglican remove themselves from Catholic Church, they remove all the important places in the Bible. Then they bring the Bible down to Nigeria and give them king of the former king of England. You know, they spread the news. The same divide and rule. But one good thing here is that after they have taken Nnamdi Kanu away, God raised another person who is able to do from all angles. And the followers, which is this autopilot. That is why we have come now to begin to pieces all these things to a layman to understand the deep point of what we are doing. Thank you for now.
Yeah, thank you for your submission. We really appreciate, though you were not in the studio, but you were picking up and you've been able to lay a very good foundation for people to understand. All right, let us continue reading down so that we get assimilated and move on. I hope the write-up is coming out very clear on the screen, because when I'm reading, I'm not in the studio.
It's very perfect, very perfect.
All right, thank you. All right, by early November 1967, Nigerian government forces had pushed back the Biafrans and captured Enugu. George Thomas now called for a quick federal military government victory and recommended that the UK arms export policy towards Lagos be relaxed to ensure that outcome. All right, let's go down. On 23 November 1967, the cabinet agreed that such a federal military victory provided the best hope for an early end to the fighting. Look at them, how they were making decisions against you. You are in far back Africa and they are in far back Europe, Asia, and
this is
UK.
horrible. These are the
Yes.
kings of the earth. The Bible said that conspired against the children of God.
So,
and we're still talking about Obi. Sorry.
They sit down here to make decisions of how you are to be killed and pillaged and destroyed, all because of the interest of oil and gas. They say Labour Prime Minister Harold Wilson's cabinet, which supplied large quantities of arms to the Nigerian government as it fought against and blockaded Biafra in the late 1960s. This was published from Richard Crossman papers. Going to the arms supply, following the month, Commonwealth Secretary George Thompson suggested that UK should agree to Gowon's shopping list for arms supply. He wrote, anything that we now do to assist the federal military government should help our oil companies to re-establish and expand their activities in Nigeria after the war and more. Generally, should help our commercial and political relationship with post-war. As a result, Britain supplied 36 armored personnel carriers, along with 2,000 machine guns for them, anti-tank guns, and 9 million rounds of ammunition. Dennis Healy, the defense secretary, wrote that he hoped these supplies will encourage the Nigerians to look to the United Kingdom for their future purchases of defense equipment. Do you see another agenda? They supply them that so that tomorrow they will be going to patronize them to be buying more while they are supplying to go and kill.
While black man is killing himself, he's sucking your oil.
Okay, they are making money on top of you, killing yourself, so that they can be able to pop up their own economy. Then you'll be killing yourself, killing yourself.
That is the agenda now. Libya. You know, see what thing that happened for Libya.
Okay. That is why they decided to take out Gaddafi now, because they knew that one would have turned Africa to the Europe, the Qatar of Africa itself.
Sure.
By mid 1968, Britain had supplied 15 million rounds of ammunition, 21,000 mortar guns, 14,500 howitzer rounds, 1,950 rifles, with grenade launchers, 15,000 loops of explosives, 500 submachine guns, 4,000 rifles, and 4 helicopters. I just hope that they will not block this our broadcast. Because today we don't come.
But the most important thing is people who are present here, they should know listening to it, even if they block it, is living in your mind. Thank you.
Yes, oh, yes. These arms exports were secretly stepped up at a time when killings were being widely reported in the press. So they step up the supply so that they will kill more people for them to be able to wage their pocket with money. About 1,000 people of the Igbo ethnic group who predominated in Biafra were killed in Benin City by local people with the acquiescence of the federal government forces. The New York Review noted in December 1967. So when we say that the numbers of people that were killed were more than what you estimated, we are always correct because the database was not there. So every day from different publications of the newspaper, you get reviewed that other people were killed in so place that were not even published in the BBC and Premium Times publication. A further 700 Igbo males were lined up shot in the town of Asaba, 1968, in January. The Observer, this one is different from the October, oh no, this one now is different from the October massacre of 7. Are Biafrans following us? This other massacre of Asaba here is different from the one of October 7. All right. The Observer reported at the time, according to eyewitnesses, the Nigerian commander ordered the execution of every Igbo male over the age of 10 in the town. When they gather everybody that is male, they fire. Commander says, shoot on them. And these are the same people that were singing in solidarity to see if they can calm down the situation. They were singing One Nigeria to see if they can temper justice with mercy and not kill them. But they shot at them. Humanitarian suffering, especially starvation, was severe as a result of the federal government's blockade of Biafra. Pictures of starving and malnourished children went around the world, and the Nigerian government was widely seen to be engaging in atrocities against civilians, including apparently indiscriminate air strikes, which is happening today in Biafra land. And who are supplying them the weapons is the same UK and America. In an increasing brutal war. So when Blinken came out and was giving us a report of how they took part in the massacre, you have seen the trace. By the beginning of 1968, the British files referred to death of between 70,000 to 100,000 people in the war. And I say, this document that we are using here is a declassified information. But you will not see this 70,000 or 100,000 stipulated anywhere in every other publication. But this file that they brought out here now tells you that it was over 100,000. Between 68 to the Red Cross estimated there were around 600,000 refugees in Biafra land and was trying to arrange supplies to meet needs. Now, estimated at around 30 tons a day, to tell you what was actually going on. Public and parliamentary pressure in Britain to halt arms export to Lagos was now rising. That means some of them were raising concerns for them to stop the supplies of ammunition to Nigeria. With 70 Labour Party MPs filing a motion for an embargo in May 1968. Yet, the real extent of arms supply by Britain was concealed from the public by the government, aided by the Prime Minister as at then. Throughout 1967 and 1968, Labour ministers told Parliament that Britain was essentially neutral in the conflict and was continuing to supply arms to Nigeria on the same basis as before the war. Wilson misinformed the House of Commons on 16 May 1968. We have continued the supply of arms by private manufacturers in this country exactly on the basis that it has been in the past. But there has been no special provision for the needs of the war. It continues. With the forces of Gowon's regime in control of Port Harcourt, Biafra's most important southern coastal city. Now the year where they divided you and then they say you are not Biafra. They tell you you be South, Niger Delta. Did you hear it now that Ikwocha is the most important southern coastal city of Biafra? By mid-1968, British officials noted that having gone this far in supporting the federal military government, it would be a pity to throw away the credit we have built up with them just when they seem to have the upper hand. Oh, because of the lives of people, they can go all this far. Because of oil and gas, Britain could not halt the supply of arms since, in quote, such an outcome will seriously put at risk about £200 million of British investment in non-Biafra Nigeria, George Thompson explained to Harold Wilson in private. Let us stop here for now, because here you have a very outstanding point. Let me come back to the studio. Sorry, Biko, I was away from the studio when I'm reading, so I cannot see who is outside the studio. I just came in now. That's why I brought you. Sorry about that. I hope you were following up.
I say we deal on this one before continuing.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, you will be the first person to take the mic. You have 2 minutes, please.
Okay. You know, as you read now, people have heard you and they are following. What somebody said here, Abarawa, try to save this document for future purpose. You know, I want to bring this thing in this present form. Slavery. Let me check it here. Carolina Lang yeah, the British ambassador of Nigeria, said, even the slave trade have not even stopped. She came and said, if anybody in Nigeria studied in university and become a graduate, that person is allowed to ask for visa, which you see, Mazen Nambekano came up and attacked the woman that time when they came to modelize slavery, to take away all the educated people in Nigeria. If you are educated, they will take you. And this is exactly the same reason why these people remove history out of the school. This thing you are reading here today, the simple reason for them to remove history out of the school is because of this thing. For our future generation not to know what is really going on and what has transpired time before. Let's hold it here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me go to Hugo before he forget everything that he want to say now. Hugo, please. grab the mic, Hugo, before you forget everything you want to say.
Okay. You see, the thing is that we the talk am, but they know they agree here am. You know, the thing it get as e be that we will discuss and discuss and just like my brother Paul don't talk am now say they removed history for a purpose. Now so many children in the school, so many even to university level now, some university student now, if you ask them who is Lugard, they don't know. Some don't even know who be Awolowo. Some don't even know who be Bitu Iwe. So all these things, anything you see British insinuated, you get reason why make them insinuate that thing. Go check them. And let me tell you something. Anything you see Britain put hand inside, they are killing you. That was why they left EU. That is why they are still holding Nigeria, because Nigeria is their project. Now, like I said before, Nigeria is their project, and nobody can deny that. Anybody Autumn, Governor Autumn said it just of recent, about last 2 or 3 weeks. He said that we are doing everything after they have been to UK and came back. Autumn said we have to do everything to save this project Nigeria. He said it there in social news, and I think Channels News or AIT or I don't know, but it's there in the it's open, it's there in the public domain. Everybody know, everybody sees it. So when somebody like those zombie dents are blindly following somebody that they don't even know his mission. Obi said that Nigeria, I think Nigeria is the highest debtor in the whole world now, Abi. And Obi is telling you that he is coming in to borrow, to invest. And somebody is still listening to that man. I see one old woman about 70 years saying, I'm going to sacrifice my life for Obi. Listen, anything you see that British is the master, the architect, my brother, run. If you no run, now your blood they go suck. Thank you, Sonny.
Oh, thank you to you from BIAFRALANDS for putting pepper and okra for inside so that the thing go drop for their throat where they go, they take them small. Mazi Okonkwo, I don't come your side to grab the mic, please.
Yes, Sonny, thank you for the mic. You know, one of my friend is, I think, from Ghana. One time we were speaking, and he made something that was very funny. He told me, "Do
As you can it seems your voice is coming low.
okay, but yes, one of my friend like that from Ghana. Can you hear me now? Good. Okay, a friend of mine is a Ghana guy, and one day he was telling me, he said, "Do I know the God we worship is different from the one the white men, especially British, worship?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "G stand for gold, and the O stand for oil, and the D stand for diamond. And that is the problem. And they know the original God, but they give us the fake one to follow." You see here, so you can understand that there is something inside there. Because of oil, that is why the black man look like a cocoyam. They can just slaughter us at all time. You know, we've been saying 5 million people, 5 million people, but now the secrets are coming out of Barawasone. Everyone is getting awake. Our sister Uju is doing great. People who are blind are not talking. It is only time that will bring out the truth. It took Israelites many ways to go before they reach where they're going. Biafra will not be like Israelite. Our journey is shorter because we are in the new dimension. When we say we have changed gear to understand that. Do you know when we are in primary school, every book we used in primary school was printed in Britain, and what you will see there is Edet live in Calabar. But the man who printed is called Macmillan in our own land. And sometimes, Sonny, I used to ask myself, let me ask this. I'm not trying to say that the church is not good, but this man who is evil that give us Bible, sometimes that is why you see many people in the scripture, they don't want to believe any longer. If you don't have faith in direct Christ, you can never believe anything British give you as a Christianity, because these are the main problem of Africa. And I thank God that Africans are waking up. We must liberate ourselves from these people. Thank you, Abarawa Sonny and the Biafrans. Thank you all of you.
Thank you very much. You raised a very important point. Majugo, please mute your microphone. Um, Britain came to kill you to collect oil and gas, right? And in the midst of your travels, they made sure they supplied more weapons so that you can be killed and then they can be selling their weapons. And they'll be making more money. And at the same time, they will also protect their shell contract and the stake that they have in your country. Then this is the same Britain that now come and give you Bible, and come and give you religion. So that is where people should understand. How can someone that says he has my interest at heart prefers to kill me because of material thing, and then they now bring religion to come and give me to project for it to supersede every other thing? That's where people should understand that religion or worship should be from your mind and from your very self, not about what somebody brought or how they brought it or the way they put it for you. Thank you very much for helping us with that little token. Mazi Kelechi, please, the mic is yours.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity. You see, it pains me very much that sometimes our people don't really know the gravity of what this script, which represents what happened to our fathers, represent. It is painful and very touchy, and it affects the whole sense of one's reasoning when you see people defend what has cost them, their fathers, their family members, the blood of their loved ones, cost them so much pain, agony, and stress. The company called Royal Niger Company, which of course, in other words, aka Nigeria, has sucked millions of blood of our brothers, our fathers, our children, And yet we have people who want to defend this thing. They are going all out to hold something that has destroyed them, something that has taken what belonged to them, something that has kept them in poverty, something that has given them no life, low life. They go abroad, they are not valued. They are everywhere, they are not valued. There's a particular video I analyzed this morning or this afternoon at 1 p.m. Biafra time. I looked at that video where the king prince, or what's his name? What's his name? I don't remember his name because his name is not important. The new king of England, anyways. He was shaking the hands of people right before the camera and everybody. When he got to the black, I don't want to say black because we're not blacks. They actually use white and black to actually, categorize us, to put us where they want us to be. Talking about the light colored and the dark colored people, and he got to the point where this dark colored man is next. Before the dark colored man is, they're all light colored, and then he got to where the dark colored guy is. And of course, after the dark colored guy is another white guy. White guy, yes, and all of that going white. And when he got to the dark colored guy or the African guy, he pretended as if, obviously you can see his body language. He behaved as if he actually was distracted by somebody and waved to some certain people and stylishly passed him to the next guy. And the guy was stretching his hands. The dark colored guy was now stretching his hands to actually want to get a handshake from the king. And somehow he held the hand of the king, and the king somehow just let it be that he just passed him and didn't even look at him, and just walked away, and all of that, and went ahead, shaking the other people. Now it gave me a perspective of what we are doing wrong now. These people don't care, just like the king didn't care. These people are killing us. These people are doing everything to make sure that we keep on suffering. We are stretching our hands towards them still. We want to grab them. We want to hold them. That is what election means. We want to still hold them. We want to still grab them. We want to still maintain what they have actually instituted as the killer material or the killer company. Nigeria is a killer company, a company designed to kill the indigenous people. And yet our people are ignorantly following the problem. That is why they don't want our people to be educated. Said Boko Haram, Western education is of course, in our own context, we're not looking at even Western education, because it has even pressured our minds to a secluded point of stupidity, because now we embrace everything they tell us without understanding what is behind the screen, the history that we have. Anybody who is talking about election is actually validating this thing that these British people have done to us. Anybody right now, any Biafran, anybody who is in the circle of that contraption, Nigeria, who is validating election, is sponsoring every armory, every weapon you see them named here, the thousands and the hundreds of thousands of bullets and all of that they're bringing in. That person's motive is also funding those weapons. Because if you decide today that you are not going to allow this Nigeria to stay, as a people will decide, we have already passed a message to the British monarchs and everything that they represent, and their caliphate, their agents, that we are no more part of this system, and we have broken away from their grips. That's why you see this shackle on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's hand behind me. It represents the chain on every one of us. If we keep on holding on to this election with somebody like Obi being fronted to us to pursue this election, my brother, my sister, any Biafran who does that is actually endorsing everything you see here that is written on this script, which has happened in the past. You are bringing it now back to the present, and you are causing problems for Biafrans. We have to be wise. This is the time to break loose from these chains, and this is the time to tell Britain, you killed us because of your $200 million pounds investment, as at that time, which has gone into billions of pounds right now. You killed us then, but this time around, we are ready to destroy that investment. And that is what we have come to do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I believe Biafrans are getting it down small, small. Please, Biafrans, make una take a cup of water, sip some more, so that as we dey talk am, the thing go dey waka dey go small, small, because it's very important. All right. Now, this is a photo of a malnourished person in a refugee camp near the Nigerian Biafran war zone in the late 60s. This photo was published by Public Health Image Library. Now, you can see the level of what they did to your brothers and sisters. For you that is shouting obedience, that is why we are connecting this dot now. We are going to pick this history to entail something so that tomorrow when you are shouting obedience, 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 you will come back to understand what they have done to you and what they are planning to do to you again. Remember that the people that went to tell obedience, come out from PDP. Tell them that you don't want to be in PDP again. Now go and go under the umbrella of Labour Party. Remember that these same people that had this meeting with Obi, that these are the same people that aided and abetted your own massacre and led to your brothers and sisters and mothers and children going through this kind of situation. Some people did not even die on the sword. They didn't even die on bullet. Some of them died because of what? Food blockade. Because they were starved. They did not see food to eat. Who did it? It was Britain. They supplied a war boat that was used in the riverine areas to block our food supply, to make sure that you die. When you die, they will now come to protect their investment, their business, and the oil and gas. And these are the same people that are coming after you today, telling you, go and vote Obi, go and vote Obi. If you go and vote Obi again, that means your brain cells have been damaged. So if your brain cells are not damaged, and with this history that we have brought back to the table for you to understand some things, go and meet one carpenter to use one quack screwdriver to reset one side of your brain, please. Don't go and meet a well licensed medical doctor. Meet one carpenter. Let him use one quack screwdriver. All right, we continue. Psychological warfare. It was at this point that British officials sought to counter widespread public opposition to the Nigerian government by helping it improve the presentation of its policies. British officials urged the Nigerian government to convince the outside world that it was not engaged in genocide and to suggest it backed a ceasefire and humanitarian access to Biafra. Do you hear that one? That one shocked you, Abi? That is what Britain did. The same way United Nations official Antonio Guterres and the International Criminal Court attorney came to Nigeria and then told the Nigerian government that they should go and bring back the terrorists Boko Haram, put them back into the society, let them come and live with you so that they will cut you all to pieces. It was then in the 1960s something. Now it happened again in 2022. So nothing is different. They don't have anything good for you. Whoever they present to you, when they give you obedience, just know that it is another headway to your destruction. Biafra is your solution. High Commissioner Hunt suggested to Gowon that the Federal Air Force to be used for psychological warfare and to drop leaflets over Biafran towns, which will help the government score a propaganda point. Hey, my God.
It's clear. It's clear.
Hey.
In fact, this is the manuscript of our problem. This is the fundament. This is, like Kelechi said, this is the main document that carries our problem. People should not take this broadcast for granted. If they lie, let them block it. We are out to expose.
This one showed me.
This is the manuscript. This is the sentence. This is the ordinances that was written to put us in perpetual bondage. In fact, it's like we are getting deliverance here.
It seems
so. You see now from this script, we are seeing that every advice is coming from Britain.
Yes.
Every advice, the attack and everything, every strategy is coming from Britain. The same strategy they now use Obi. He went to London, came up with strategy, they brought him in. The same strategy from that place. And Biafrans are shouting Obi.
Kelechi, finish your comment so that another person will comment, because this very point we know go pass and make everybody comment here, because we need to expatiate more on this very 2 points where they give more.
Observe it now. See, they said High Commissioner Hunt suggested to go on. They are every strategic warfare, the strategic warfare against Biafra is from Britain. And Biafrans cannot keep endorsing these wicked souls who killed our people with their strategic method and all of that. Still doing the same. Look at how they brought Obi to London. Suddenly Obi went and came to Labour Party to position him strategically, let it look like Wazobia thing. So that Biafrans will be jostling, so that just like that that colored man I was talking about in the video, stretching his hands towards the king, so that Biafrans will still keep stretching their hands towards and seeing their slavery as very glittering. That is the essence of what they are doing. Biafrans must understand and see. We must be smart. Not just being smart, wise also. We are in the time when we need to change the narrative. This is the time, and this no election time is the time to change the narrative. This document shows us purely what has happened in the past, history before us. It is replaying. We have to change the narrative. We must stop Obi. We must stop everything election. We must stop everything election, because they have done enough to us.
Thank you very much. Mazi Biko, it's your time.
Yeah, Abarawa. Thank you for giving me the opportunity again. You know, they call it psychological warfare and the strategic warfare. If you see this document, please, you try to share it online or you send it to us so we can save this document. Then another way which Igbo people must wake up and the Biafra must wake up is one of the deadliest story that ever happened is the history of the Gitanos. Austin, you know the history of Gitanos. 247, you know about Gitanos, no? You know, these people want to send us away out of our land for we to scatter. And the way these people, they eat the brain of Ohaneze Ndibo. The Ohaneze Ndibo begin to promote Akurolo, Okwebosi. Then Nigerian government used to say, we are business people. Igbo people are business people. They are enterprise all over the world. So when you see this strategy, they say, take visa, go away out of your land. Why? The land of Igbo people is empty. Now Fulanis are coming in to occupy that place. Then I said, I made a post yesterday. I say, if Igbo people doesn't take their time, their history will become like the history of the Gitanos. Meaning, if they go on supporting disobedient, which every one of us have known the secret of disobedient that come out, you know, what are they going to do? Our people have dominated all over the world and no way to come back again. You know, that means that is how we are going to hang. You know, we use our hand and make ourselves foreigner, everlasting foreigner in another man's land. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You know, somebody was saying, copy this document, send it to me. Good Lord, Jonathan has it. He have read it for you. He read
Yes,
the
all
last
have
I
it.
week.
read it for you.
All know.
Yes,
Thank you.
You're right. Good luck has read some part of it
They
for
all
them.
know, they all have it in their possession.
They are blinded by their greed.
They have seen it
Oh,
before us
they've seen it. Yes.
long ago.
So, Master Kunko, the mic is yours now.
Yeah, you know, Kelechi, you are very acquainted to the Bible more than anyone here. So, sorry, I'm not trying to humiliate anybody. But the issue there is, you see, there's something that happened in Babylon when people were given a manuscript on when they will be delivered, according to the book of Jeremiah. And the people stayed longer than when they're supposed to know what had been happening to them. In Ephesus, in Ephesians, people were sitting under their riches, under their gift, until Paul came. Ephesians 1:17. He prayed for their eyes to be opened. When you read all the epistles of Paul, what you'll be seeing there is understanding, knowledge, understanding, and knowledge. I don't know. It's like these people also, they polluted our food. Barawa, it's like they give us something in the food. I'm telling you that when we eat, we see our brothers as an enemy. That's why people like Chinas and Woru will reinforce Wusuludo to be killing our people in Olo. But that is a matter for another day. Biafran should stand bold and say no election. Like what Biko said before, they have infiltrated all the whole channels. Everything that concerns Biafra, Ohanes and Dibo are polluted. Is it some of this expelled IPOB polluted? Is it the wife of Mazen Nanda Kano polluted? Everyone, we must stand to take what we have in our hand. Nobody will give up. Show Ayaba said, it is not given, it is taken. Thank you, Abarawa Sani and Biafrans.
Thank you very much. 247, please.
Well, the thing say, High Commissioner Horn suggested to go on that the Federal Air Force be used for psychological warfare and to drop leaflets over Biafran town, which would help the government score a propaganda point. The same thing, Nobi, they don't drop another one. Obi, they drop them. That is it. They will keep dropping. Soludo.
Obi is the epitome of propaganda.
Bam. Bam. Soludo propaganda. The same Soludo that was then during Obasanjo time speaking like an angel from heaven. Today, he's speaking a different language. Who are the enemies of Soludo? Me and you. Who are the criminals? Me and you. Who are the infiltrators? Me and you. Who are to be eliminated? Me and you. Because Soludo is part of the things where they don't drop. Hopes of them, I don't know, hopes of, if other ones on a leaflet, hopes of them one are stone. They drop them. He hit ground, beam. Like earthquake, he combust. Like I used to say, as I still talk, we Biafrans should know that everything Britain are doing is nothing more but to protect that oil when they enter their land. That oil. Nothing more. Those people, somebody called me now, he was trying to speak. He was trying to contribute into the program. He said that now Britain, I think it was Paul that said something about them inviting people over. And you see, said that they are trying to make us to leave our land. We talked about Gaddafi before, Mama Gaddafi, nobody this Gaddafi, the man Gaddafi of Libya. You know, why Gaddafi was alive, you cannot smell even a rat, even an ant from Libya. You know, go see them outside. All of them are in Libya. Because this man knows, say, if you come out, somebody go come replace your house. somebody go come occupy your house. Just exactly what Paul say here. When they are calling us business people, hey, business enterprise, hey, you scatter everywhere. Anywhere you go, you know, see Igbo. This, our eyes are open to grab fortunes, and they are dropping it, giving you business opportunities, scholarship here and there, this. Why Funanis are busy occupying our land, speaking our language, eating our food. I cried the day I saw those little children, 12, 13, and the 14, being sexually, do I say enslaved or abused? I don't know how I go talk am, by Fulani men in our own land, in Biafra land. Small time, they go born Hope Uzodinma, they go born Soludo, they go born Ojo Zokalo. Now, so that is it. And tomorrow, another generation will say, hey, this one is not behaving like Igbo. This one self is not like Biafran. Why they are now building their project to destroy us. Anybody that thinks P2B, yes, you think P2B is your answer, no problem. Follow P2B. But I want to make it clear. It's time we decide what we want. Just like Joshua said, today, take your stand.
Choose the God you will
Yes,
serve today.
take your stand. Choose where do you want to belong. Either you belong to Biafra or you belong to British. British is P2B. Not tomorrow now when Biafra come, you go come tell me say you be professor in law, you be professor plus doctorate plus degree in medicine. Therefore, I no go get mouth. Now na me get mouth. Now you be P2B. Listen, it's either you choose Biafra or you choose no Biafra. It's referendum or nothing. It's Biafra or nothing. It's no election or nothing. Thank you, Sonny.
See, Mazi Sonny, let me say something here. Sorry, please. 1 minute.
Yeah.
Do you know, when I look at that, when I see all these pictures of these children starving, like the picture you put now of that little girl, I take that girl like my sister I am seeing right now in that situation.
You are saying little girl? That
This one,
is not a little girl. It's the situation that brought her to this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can imagine this situation, somebody in this kind of critical situation, you have a blood sister or somebody who's your family member like this, and yet these people didn't survive. Many of them didn't survive. They died. And yet you still are embracing the people who put you in this situation, who killed your people. You don't want to let go. How hard is your heart? How wicked are you? This is so painful. Biafrans should put themselves in the shoes of these people who died. How can we pursue the election at this critical time? I mean, it's really painful.
These are the spirit that entered some of us and they cannot stop. It's an idea. Either by reincarnation or incarnation. Some of us you see here being formidable.
Evil spirit.
We can never allow. See, Biafra must come. It is Biafra or Biafra.
Honestly.
Of course, because we cannot go back to slave. Paul say in Philemon 1:16, say we are no longer a slave.
Of course.
So,
we are free men.
Yeah. Barawa.
Right on.
Okay. You know, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was teaching, he taught us critical thinking, you know, and after the teaching of critical thinking, that made me to come to what I want to say now. There is a video of Fulani, the man which Hope Uzodinma made emir in Imo State. When you listen to the program of that man, he said that they came to Owerri in Mbise, that area, in 17 something to 18 something, you know, and they used to participate in the culture of that village. Now, that is bringing me now to what I want to say. I don't believe that Hope Uzodinma is an Igbo man. You know, when these people landed since 200 years ago, That is 1800. These people have their children, great grandchildren, that made up Igbo land, speaking the dialect, and you know that Britain are the people who is gearing Fulanis, telling them how to keep record, And when you come to the most normal circumstances, Fulanis are more in politics. They know this political strategy more than Igbo people, because Igbo people, they push Igbo people under business. Am I okay? They push Igbo people to business, buying and selling, trading. You say you are a businessman, Then these people are inside government where the law is being made by itself. Are you getting it? And Fulani has been training their own children to politics. Then go and check the way Hope Uzodinma become the governor of Imo State. From number 4th to 1st, they remove the name Ihedi Ohamma, and Ihedi Ohamma is the thing that is good between me and you. And Ihedi Ohamma has come to do the will of Igbos. They see what he want to do. They remove that name. What pleases me, they took it away and they give you this man, a deadly killer. That man, when you trace his origin and you trace back the origin of George Obiozo, these people are not original Igbo people. I can bet you. But they speak Igbo and they participate in Igbo culture. When you go back to history of Europeans, that is the same way they infiltrate inside people. Thank you.
Yeah. We are going to divide this our document into two, because it's a very long one and it entails everything that we need. So we are going to take the last part of the first segment, which we have divided into two. Then when we come back next broadcast, we will continue, because we don't want you to miss anything. So when you see us coming live again in our next joint broadcast on Friday, please stand tall. And not just Friday. Emergency might call for us to come together and then fire the house. So please, just stay updated while we ride on the horse. So, looking at what is here, this propaganda here is Peter Obi, just like my comrades have all said. But let us read the next part of it, which is going to the ending part of the part 1, so that you get more details. Other officials noted that their support for Nigeria was under attack. That our ability to sustain it depends very much on implementing enlightened and humane federal policies and securing public recognition for them. They argued that they argued that what was needed, they argued that what was needed was good and well presented Nigerian policies which permit that support to continue. Now you will get the well refined point here now. The files indicate that these presentational issues were much more important to British officials than the suffering of Biafrans. So, when you see Britain now trying to gain public recognition and trying to reduce tension in one Nigeria, even as they have seen that Nigeria is deteriorating and trying to enter into a very quagmire, they want to gain public recognition by doing what? Getting Peter Obi as the propaganda point to come in and then start having the hope to warn Nigerian people that with Obi, that Biafrans will have hope, that every Nigerian will have hope, when the most important thing to them is their public recognition and not about the sufferings of Biafrans. Hey, then the Wilson government was mainly concerned that it would be forced by public pressure to withdraw or reduce its support for Gowon. It ruled out threatening to cut off or reduce arms exports to press the Nigerian government to change policies. So, by early August 1968, federal Nigerian forces had retaken most of the southeast of the country, and the Biafrans were now confined to a small enclave, blockaded from the outside world. Blockaded from the outside world. The world aided our massacre. Labour's other Commonwealth Minister, Lord Shepherd, minuted Harold Wilson, saying that 14 months after Biafra declared itself independence, our support for the federal military government finds us in the position in which we are on comparatively good terms with the side which is in an overwhelmingly advantageous position. The same month, the Red Cross estimated that 2 to 3 million people were in the dire need, facing shortages of food and medical aid. Wilson did not succumb to the growing public pressure. The month after the Red Cross there a warning, he told Gowon, the British government for their part have steadfastly maintained their policy of support for federal Nigeria and have resisted all suggestions in parliament and in the press for a change in that policy, particularly in regard to arms supplies. The Foreign Office again made clear its primary interest. The whole of our investment in Nigeria, and particularly our oil interests in the southeast and the Midwest will be at risk if we change our policy of support for the federal government of Nigeria. So here is a point. And up here again is another point, that they were not moved by any way after the death of Biafra, but they were only concerned, they were not moved. It indicate that these presentational issues were much more important to British officials than the suffering of Biafrans. And their oil and gas is the most important thing. Hey! All right. We are going to hold it there for today. But before we hold it, my comrades have to say something to the last part that we have read. I will start with Mazi 247 before you forget what you go talk now. Mazi 247. The mic now your own now.
I know they
Don't
forget
Ah,
anything.
okay.
I know they forget anything, because when you look, we pay the most, we pay all the price, not even the most. We pay every price. Who? Biafras. We are the collaterals. We have been the collaterals, and we are still the collaterals to British Kiniko gas and the oil and gas, BP. I don't know self whether that BP is still there for Nigeria, whether they don't change them to another name, because they are good in changing them. When they find out say you don't catch them, they go baptize them, give a name. As they give my brother Paul, give this one Austin, give this one Maxwell, like that. So what I am saying is nothing. Forget the joke. These people don't have any other interest. Listen, we think like I said before, Nigeria is just a project. Finish. And when you watch Britain, anything they don't gain from, anything they will drop a dime into, and they don't gain, they will leave. That was why they left, or that is why they left EU. You see, they're not there for EU, but when EU they play UEFA, they there. When they play Champions League, they go come. If there's any other thing EU, you go see them, they come. But when it reach in anything where they go do, make they put head together, do this one, they go tell you, say they are not interested. That is the same thing that is still happening. They are not interested in any other thing. They don't mind to use anybody as a collateral, as long as that oil, that oil where they try make them subject me and you to be guards, so that they go, they sip and you go, they guide them for them. They don't send you. If you like, you sleep in the dungeon, sleep in the creek. It's not their business. Their business is that thing where you they cover for them. That is why they are ready to wipe away every Biafran, to replace you with the Funanis, because the Funanis are ready to do anything they bid them to do. So, like I said before, Nigeria is a project. Biafra is not a project in the hand of anybody. So, what do you call them? Obi that have accepted to be a tool to tightening the project is only using your head, it's only using your brain, it's only deceiving you. And those people following Obi has not even called Obi like a town hall meeting. Tell us, how do you want to fix this thing now? We're scatter like this building where don't rotten from foundation. How are you going to fix it? That all they want is Obi is a Christian. All they want is Obi is younger than Babangida. Obi is younger than Tinubu. Obi is younger than Buhari. Obi is younger than Atiku. Obi has not been a president. Obi is an Igbo man. Obi is a Briton. Obi is a Biafran. Obi is a handsome man. Obi is educated. Have you forgotten that Obi was once in a position to unite the whole Easterners? But Obi, what did he do? He did not do that. The only one reason why Ojukwu gave Obi the opportunity to become the Anambra State governor was to unite the whole Eastern region. Both are just normal, the old Eastern region, to be one as they were before. But Obi did not do that. Obi did not do that. So what did Obi do? Obi killed Biafrans, and he's denying that he was not aware that Biafrans were killed. Obi, anyway, let me not talk about, I'm not talking about Obi, but all I'm saying is that anybody working with Britain is working against us.
Mazi, you have to talk about Obi. Obi connects to everything that is happening. And
okay,
like
Obi was called. Obi was selected. Obi did not win the election, and there was no election in Apuga. Obi was choosing. Because the same way we saw Obi now, we are seeing Obi now to be educated, intelligent, a businessman that can invest your money without using it. Why you need hospital, he will go and invest your money in the bank. What happened to the interest of that money? Where is the interest? The same Obi is the same person that allowed the same Ojukwu that brought him into the limelight to die in hospital without visiting him. The same Obi is the same person that jumped from that Apoga to PDP. The same Obi is the same thing that is jumping, that is making him to jump like a frog, like a frog. Wow, jump now from PDP to Labour Party. The same Obi is not doing anything you want, you desire, you will like, or you may love, or that will give you anything good. Obi is only doing the bidding of the people where call am for work, will be Britain. And if you know Britain, you will know that Britain don't want you to be free. Britain only wants you to be signing that document that will be bringing their oil, that document that will subject you to everlasting bondage, suffering. You will go to you if you manage to succeed in business or in anything, you will send your children to go and study abroad. When they come back from University of Oxford University, they will still come back and meet you. Or rather, if they are good, Britain will return them, and you will die in your home, your papa house. You go abandon them because you want to follow Obi. Follow Obi, no problem. But one thing I said, that I have decided that I am a Biafran, and I have decided that waiting the hungry me now, not to go back to Biafra land, not to go back to Britain. Have you asked yourself why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu rejected the offer the Britain gave him? Britain don't give you anything for good, though. They don't give you anything where good, though. They don't give you anything for free, oh. Anything you see Britain give you, you go pay price way past that 100 times. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mazi Biko, the mic is yours, please.
Yeah, my brother, thank you. You know, everything we are saying here is going in line. So that's why whenever we want to answer question, we bring a different chapter. Sometimes I must remember the reason why I joined the struggle. That is, we will bring Biafra from diaspora. You know, Igbo people said, "Onye njenje ka onye isi awụ amamihe." So we are trying now to take advantage of traveling out, because we know the reason why there is no electricity in Nigeria. We have seen the reason why there is no running water in Eastern region, no electricity in Eastern region. These are the reasons when the Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, led by this man, not Obiozo, the former man, this former man, these people, they call for a restructuring of Nigeria, that Egwe bere, Ugo bere. Let everyone live together. But they refused. Why did they refuse? Because they don't want us to know what we are doing today. They remove electricity. But one thing that is giving me hope is this. Igbo people gave birth to democracy, which the whole world is practicing today. And since this time we found this thing, is because we are in another country where there is electricity. You have time to go inside and listen to news. There is electricity, there is running water. You spend your time to dig out why you left your father's land at the very first time. Only small people is asking the question. Many of our people, they have their children outside the land. They feel comfortable. They forgot that they come from somewhere, you know? So, but we who is called begin to think critical, asking all these deep questions. That's why someone ever said that we will bring Biafra from diaspora. And that is exactly what we are doing. Because the secret of England, the secret of Europeans, and the secret of America is in our hands. That's why we are able to reveal it. We are showing our face, revealing it. Because if they come for us, we bring this document and give it to them. And this is the reason nobody can arrest Nnamdi Kanu when he was here in Europe, traveling all over the world. That is the reason why you see Simon Ekpa in Finland going up and down, doing whatever he is doing, because Igbo people gave birth to democracy. And we are going to take advantage of the democracy which we brought to the world and liberate ourselves from this mess. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Master Okonkwo, you have the mic, please.
Yes, Barawa Sane, thank you, Biafrans and lovers of freedom. I think after this, I will leave you guys because I just came from work. I never relaxed. Tomorrow morning, 3 o'clock, I'm leaving again. So now, what I want us to look into is the impossibility of this year obedient. Obi cannot achieve anything. Number one, we are dealing with people that have a sponsor, the British. They are the ones sponsoring Fulani. Why I said that we'll have to look to the impossibility of your Obi before you start to talk about it is we have Usman Danfodio agenda, soaking the Quran in the water. It has nothing to do with politics. This is a collaborative Islamization agenda, which they will never allow people to be to jeopardize. That is why you see, first of all, they start to accumulate or to saturate all the whole important places in the Nigeria institutions, like in army, the idea they're number one, in banking, the idea number one. Everything the Fulanis took over because they are working with the British. Of course, we must know that. So looking at this, Obi can never repair or change these people. They have an agenda. There is no difference between Tinubu and Atiku. It is the same British sponsor. They are on one side because it is like give us oil and we'll help you at last to Fulanize Nigeria. I told somebody yesterday, I said, I think it is Fulani that colonize British now at last. Because it's like what they say is what the British do. We must look into why British has never responded fully on the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And this will motivate you to know that even that British passport you're holding as a Biafra, you are not safe. So you are safe until you get Biafra. And they are doing everything with the help of British in order to stop you. That's why our leader was rendited. That's why they stopped Ojukwu by force. According to the communique here, he said to stop Ojukwu by force. Who do you think they're not going to stop? But this era, they're never going to stop us. But when we are raising that thing, we saw also one of the greatest weapons they use, food blockage. Our people must put this into consideration. We must begin now to look into ourselves, because looking into our own family will help us to know how we're going to grow our own crops, to know how you have to manage what you have, to know how you have to save the money you get, because these people are never going to allow anybody from the Southeast, which we don't even want. We are not going to talk about it, because if Obi goes in there, he will still remain that boy. Obi is a boy we read in Macmillan Cost People's Book 2. And forever. So that book, we have finished reading it. We don't want to read that book imported from for British for us to come and read. What we want to tell the United Nations, the Biafrans have opened eyes, and we don't want to be a slave any longer. They must release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is their citizen, so that the shame will not befall on them. I finished my statement, and I would like to see Biafrans once again. Because of my time and my activities, I wish all of us good luck and God bless us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mazi Kelechi, just a quick one, please.
All right. Before I say what I want to say, I want to make Biafrans think about this, especially those who are election mongers. Why do you think Fulani will take their time, strategically position their people in all sphere and sector of the Nigeria structure and system? You know, the porous structure and system and the illegal structure and system. After putting all of those stuff on ground, they now allow Obi to come in to destroy it? Why do you think it's possible? For the fact that they permit Obi to be there anyways means that Obi is going to still preserve what they have structured. That's just it. It's as simple as that. There's no way they can permit him to be there if he's going to come to destroy it, because their purpose must be achieved. Now let's look at it this way. In this write-up, it said that they were so interested about the project over the lives of Biafrans. Now let me put it this way, like I told us initially when we started this. I said that the British saw the oil. Remember, I talked about the interest of the British, the oil and control of the oil. To get the oil, to maintain the oil, they needed to take control of the territory. And to take control of the territory, they needed to control the people. So hence, the amalgamation was done. The Nigeria people became the product for the sustenance of the resources, the oil. So now, they made us the human products in line with the natural products. That is why you see what we have here right now, that they cannot give you a value, because when you have a company, for instance, let me give you this instance. When you have a company and you produce some products to sell, definitely you have some that will come out bad and trash. Anybody who is castigating the British company, like what we are doing right now, fighting to be free, we are the trash products. We are the bad products. They want to eliminate us. When you have a company, when you have bad products, when you produce and you have bad products, it's either you recycle them, or if they are too bad, you throw them away. That is the same way they are coming after those people who are against their real motive of exploitation.
Kelechi, the recycling is working because they have successfully recycled some people.
Yes, and they are after trashing some other people. They know some people cannot be recycled. They recycle those ones they're going to recycle. They try to trash those, like people like us, people in the autopilot system. We are not recyclable. They want to trash us, but that is not possible. Now, they see us as products. That is why they can want to thrash us. They can want to recycle us. That is why their interest is above our interest, because we are just products. That is why they said here, the files indicate that the presentational issues were much more important to Britain officials than the suffering of Biafrans. The product does not, whatever happens to the product does not matter. As long as the product serves the purpose, it is kept and sent to the market. If it doesn't serve the purpose, they take you or try to recycle you or throw you away. That is what they are doing to us. They see us as mere products. They don't see us as value. They don't see us as gratis, personal gratis. They see us as devalued products. That is why they will thrash you. They will kill you. They will send their military to come and bomb your place. They will do everything to destroy you. Once you go against them, you have become a byproduct that is not recyclable. They come and bomb you. That's why they're going to Osu and everywhere, destroying the marketplaces, destroying us, because they know that we are just byproducts. That is why we must change the narrative now. Biafrans, if you are a Biafran talking about election in Biafra land or wherever you are as stupid as anything. In fact, you are of all men most miserable, according to the Bible. Of all men most miserable, that means you don't even know your worth and your value. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And a very big applause to my comrades in the house, because they have articulated everything the way our Biafran people and lovers of freedom will understand. Now, let me ask Biafrans only one simple question. Only one simple question. If the British that saw their name and their business to be more important to the suffering of Biafrans, and their sole aim is to protect their interests of oil and gas, and they don't have anything to do with if you are dying or if they are killing you. And they are even helping to give people weapons to kill you. How do you now expect or believe or allow yourself to be swayed into believing that the same Britain called Peter Obi and then have meeting with him and then told him, come and go and then frontier as the next president?
So
And then you
shocking.
expect that the same Britain now will give you good life.
It is so shocking.
Hi.
Any normal human being would think that way.
It's here on the screen that your death was not important to them, but their own perception of how they must work on their image and protect their enterprise, their business. So while you were dying, they were supplying more weapons to kill you. And now you see that it is the same people that are giving you Obi. So do you now think that they have changed their mind? Or you think that they are not the same people of yesterday again? No, Biafran should wake up and understand something. Before we brought out this history here to read for you, we want you to understand that the same monkey of yesterday can never change to become a rat. That monkey will always be monkey. And you give monkey banana, chop and finish, you go use them stone for your face. So 2023 is no-go area in Biafra land. Peter Obi is the propagandist, which you had us read from this communique here. They said they have to bring out a leaflet that will be dropped in Biafra land as a means of propaganda point to the Biafran people so that it will brainwash them and make them believe that Nigeria is going to work, that through Peter Obi, everything is coming to work again. That is what we want you to understand. That it is a plan, and they used this strategy before, and they are using it again now, and you don't have to fall for it. Our gallant men in the 66 did not even fall for it. They saw what was coming. That is why they stood up and tried to curtail it. Then they did not even have power over the media or anything. But they tried to use the inbuilt wisdom that God gave them. How much more you today now that you can sit down here and then tweet something and someone in UK Parliament will get it the same time with the speed of light? Do not make this mistake. 2023 is no-go area in Biafra land. Mazi Owubiko, you have the mic, please.
You know, why I want to speak now is that there is someone here, Okechukwu Owo. He said, the problem here is those Biafrans in the zoo don't know these facts because they don't have access to information. You know, when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu started this movement, he first of all began to create awareness. People begin to call him criminal and anything. When you see how Mazen Nnamdi Kanu started, he was using iPad, iPhone, and the different things, trying to pass information until this information gets to us. Now, if you go to the wildlife in Africa, United Nations secured the life of all the animals in the wild, which I think in 2009, Rey Juan Carlos, the king of Spain, went to Mozambique and killed wild animals, elephants, tiger, lion, and the buffalo, and all those things. As he returned here, they were about to put him in jail for killing animals. But what Peter Obi and those obedient people doesn't know is that United Nations has given right to animals living in the wild more than people, human beings living in Africa. Because when one is being killed in Africa, nobody asks, why did you kill that person? Rather, they will put that one aside. You understand? So for this reason, anybody who is claiming Obi and calling for Obi is just there to deceive you. Obi can never give you Biafra, and Obi can never release Nnamdi Kanu. You take your destiny in your hand. Again, as the fundraising is coming up, what you have to do is to go and contribute to whatever you can do. Because one Nigeria at this moment is dead on arrival. Even animals has power in Africa more than human beings living there. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much to everyone in the studio and those watching and helping us to share. Please, if you have not shared the broadcast, hit the like button and the share now. Share it to your WhatsApp groups, share it to your friends on WhatsApp as well, share it to your Facebook groups, share it to your Facebook pages, share it to your Twitter handle, and also on YouTube. You can also share it. You click on the share, you copy the link, then you post it as a text. It will be posted, and other people that have you as friends or subscribe to your own channel on YouTube can also be watching. That is how you can share the broadcast when you are pay or connect your channel directly. Please, my gallant men in the studio, we will open the line for just okay. We will open the line for seven calls, right? 7 calls is okay. Okay, so just 7 calls. So the lucky 7 callers will speak in through the numbers on the screen. And as we move on, please remember to hit on 555 Vision on YouTube. That is a Paul Owobiko's channel on YouTube. 555 Vision on YouTube. Also, you hit on Mazi Kelechi. That is a Biafra Global Network on YouTube. And then you subscribe, stay connected. Please, the caller, wait, give us 1 minute. Then Biafran 247 on YouTube, please connect us there. Because of time, we cannot bring everything to the screen like we did it other time, but in our next broadcast, we'll try. Then Matthew Okonkwo channel on YouTube, the same thing. Biafran Sonny TV on YouTube, the same thing, please. Biafran Freedom Voice, that is Gaddafi's channel, okay. Then you also have a Dotland that is streaming us out when it's not here in the studio with us, so you can watch everywhere and stay connected, please. We move. Remember, 555 Vision is very easy for you to type and search on YouTube, which is Paul Owobiko's channel. So the caller can go on, please.
Okay, go on.
Okay, my brother, thank you everyone in the studio. Thank you for the great job you guys are doing. Honestly, without you guys, honestly, we would have been into a big problem. But thank God for all of you, honestly. Personally, I and my family, we appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you're welcome, sir. So you see, I want to please make a suggestion. Please, we need to create more awareness on Twitter. Twitter is a very good platform that almost all the world leaders are into. Most of world leaders, they are not into YouTube. But when you come to Twitter, they are all there. And almost all of them tweets every day. Like Biden, sometimes President Biden tweets 2 times in a day. So these are the please, it's good we encourage our people. Somebody like Simon Ekpa and the other Biafran leaders, cannot tweet something. You can only come there and see 300 retweets, 400 retweets. It doesn't make sense. We need up to whenever Simon Ekpa tweets something, we're supposed to say like 10,000, 15,000. That will help us. So if we can create awareness like Operation Where is their Twitter account, that would be very good. It will help us.
Thank you, Mazi.
What we are doing is that.
Mazi, I say thank you. You passed the message. You got it. And we've been preaching that because we are closing. So we'll have to take some other people call.
Okay, sir. It's okay. Okay, thank you. Next time I will continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. God bless you.
Thank you. Please, every caller that is calling in, know that only 1 minute is allotted to you. 1 minute, please, because of time constraint. Thank you.
Okay, somebody was asking about church. They give you church to take this thing before. I want to tell you, before you talk of church or Bible, not church, because we had our religion before they came. So one thing, assignment I will give you, go ask yourself or find out from anybody. When they came to Nigeria, or when they came to Africa and gave us Bible, why didn't they give the Funanis the same Bible they gave to us? This is a simple question. Ask yourself and ask your pastor. Since these people so much love you and care, if your pastor give you the answer, can't tell me.
Thank you very much for that point. Maybe in the next.
Hello?
Hello, Mazi. I beg you, have 1 minute, sir.
Good evening. Okay, good evening, brothers.
There was, sir.
I tell you, I was shocked when our brother is doing this exposition. My body is just cold. I'm telling you the truth.
That is it.
You know, my body is. Look at what they say here. Their investment is more important than we that die. Okay, my brother, as you're talking about church now, let me tell you what these people did. Now, if you come to the one they say is Old Testament, you find out that one they call Old Testament is our tradition. If you look at everything that in that one they say is Old Testament, it's our tradition. Now they came there. Our God tell us that we should live by law. They came and take away that law and give us love. They say Jesus love us, love your neighbor, and they come here in their land living by law. If you rape somebody in Europe here, you go to jail 15 years. If you kill, you go to face the law. And when they come to our place, they are telling us love one another. You understand me now? Somebody will rape your mother, rape your daughter. All your prayer is,
you go pray.
My God will touch you.
You go
my
pray.
God will touch you. My God will touch you. That is what we are living on. Understand me? That is what we are living on. Our God will give us love. Through our great prophet Moses, they removed that law. They give us love. Understand me? And the worst part of it, my brother, I repeat this again. I will donate 1,000 euro. Anybody who will tell me where this thing is written in their Bible, Holy Ghost fire. If you can show me where this thing right in the Bible, Holy Ghost fire. Every day our people, Holy Ghost fire, Holy Ghost fire. God, send us fire, send us fire. Today, fire is burning them from up. Fire is burning them from down. Their shop is burning fire. What they say with their mouth.
I beg you, don't try.
No, my brother that's called now. It's not as if love is a bad concept. Can you hear me, please? It's not as if love is a bad concept. It's just that it was actually manipulated against us. So love is very good. Love is better than hate.
No. Kelechi, you don't get the point.
No, I understand what he's trying to say. Yes, I understand what he's trying to say. Yes, I understand it. But I just want also other people who may not really understand the point where he's coming from to understand that love is good. They shouldn't think that hate is
but
better than love.
They didn't teach us the other side of
that
the love.
It was manipulated.
Only come and show us this side.
Yes,
They don't show us this side.
Yes.
If somebody rape your pikin, pray for him. May God deliver him. He get demon. If somebody can't rape your children, like those little three little girls, the Funanina, they don't leave them. They go. But if not for them, they go jail. That is what we are saying. We know how to play too much.
What he was saying was in context of this white supremacy. This white supremacy that are preaching with Bible for you, but they cannot show you the love. They can't even show you the love. Look at what they did on the screen to you. They didn't even consider love, but they are giving you something that is talking about love. Please, callers should call in. We still have 5 lucky callers more before we call it a day, please.
I think Barawa, I think we will have another program concerning church and the law. You know, they finished Christianity. They finished people in that zoo country. They finished them. We will have to bring time and they speak about law. Why not they can say if you that all pastors are fake? If you are real, then come and show us. Anybody who is not defending this Biafra, the paradise on the earth, which Jesus Christ himself prayed, he said, "Oh Lord, let thy kingdom come." And he was referring to Biafra. Any pastor who is not preaching this thing is not for real. So next time we will speak about them. I have title from Nnamdi Kanu. When I told Nnamdi Kanu, I wrote the way I'm doing. Say our problem is religion. That is when he said all pastors are fake. You know. So next time we will come and bomb these people. So we open their brain again. We are 555 Vision. Go and subscribe so that we will gain more energy for this job. Thank you.
Okay, caller, go on. You have 1 minute.
Okay, thank you, my brother. You people are doing well. There is some information, something I want to chip into your exposition today. The last caller spoke about these people consider our personal information. That is true. I believe these people came to our place, studied our culture and way of life, and went back and rewrote the Bible and brought back to us.
I don't talk, I'm tired now. They call me Antichrist.
Yes. Because somebody, Eliane Ekweno, the first slave who bought his freedom back, the first observation after reading the Bible said, "This looks like the culture of my people." Remember, slaves were not allowed to read, or there's a study then. But when he got the opportunity to read the Bible, the first impression said, "This looks like the culture of my people." So that tells us a lot. Again, let me not chip in. In Britain, during the 15th century revolution, the Industrial Revolution, there were 7 men who transformed the world how it is today. Oliver Cromwell and his men. They forbade the then King George into their meeting. He was not allowed into their meeting. And in their discussion, they forbade the discussion of religion and politics in their meeting. You cannot bring these two issues into their meeting while they were planning about the revolution, the Industrial Revolution. That is a fact. And the king then has to lobby himself after so many times to be allowed in this men's meeting who changed the world into what it is today. And they understood these facts, these two facts, religion, politics, that these two facts can destroy every good-minded discussion of a plan. So they have to ban these issues in their meetings to be able to hold the way, to be able to.
Thank you.
When Elizabeth was in Nigeria before the outbreak of the war, this fact was not revealed, or is still a secret. 3 days after he left, the war broke out.
Thank
3
you.
days after Queen Elizabeth left Nigeria, the war broke out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we don't try now. We never try.
We don't try.
3 hours. Like I said, if you know God too much, you go ask Adeboye. Say na me ask him. I challenge him. Make him tell you, Adeboye, Mwoka, Oyedepo, Paul Eneche, anyone that can give me the reason why, answer why they did not take the gospel to North, why they did not carry Bible. See this thing. Why they no carry them? Go give for an man. May they tell you, if they give you the answer, if I take every day I go they preach, say that them you go follow. Follow Adeboye, follow Enoch Adeboye, follow Eneche. If I no preach, I mean no say na liar be. May they tell you why. They would.
Okay. Majo, 247, should we take that to be your closing remark? Give us your closing remark, please.
That be my closing remark. Oh. Make we know
Okay.
the two.
Crank your voice some more so that we can see Adam inside. Crank your voice.
Well, what am I saying? British
Uh-huh.
than
You don't do them now. You don't do them now. Okay. All right. Dear friends, we thank you so much. Mazi Kelechi, please, your closing remarks in a few seconds.
All I will say is that Biafrans have to be wise. Don't just be smart. We always claim to be smart, but we need to be wise. Look at history. The only way you can be very wise is to refer to history, because history teaches you wisdom. Because history is like an experience outside your humanity or outside your personality. You learn from the history and you gain experience that you actually didn't gain in your physical person, but you were able to gain it based on knowledge of what has happened in the past. And then you now translate it into the present and the current, and then you use it to fine-tune your future. We don't need election. We need to set the room, the house in order, get our rights, get our freedom, have a nation, and then we can now go. If now election they hungry you, calm down. We get our freedom, then we go do election. Any number of election you want, we can do it, and then you are electing at on a right platform. That is just it. That's what we're saying. So please tell your family members in the east, all those ones who are going from rally to rally, saying they are going for campaign and rallies for election. They better just boycott those places, because that is where their bondage is. They should just face their lives and face this, be focused on freedom. Thank you so much, dear friends. My regards.
Thank you, Mazi. Chukwokike, bless you. Mazi Obiko, your closing remark in some seconds, please.
Yeah, dear friends, I thank you all. Someone called here. He said we have to embark on Operation Where is your Twitter account? Dear friends, information is the key to anything you are doing. The reason you go to school is to learn your right. And the reason you go to church is to remind you what your father have taught to you. And if you go there, you will see in the Bible where it's written that it is very easy for a camel to pass through the needle than a rich man to enter inside the kingdom of God. That is why you see all Igbo celebrities supporting P2B today. Eastern governors supporting P2B. Ohaneze ndị Igbo and ndị Nzama, because to enter inside the kingdom of God, which is Biafra, is not for everyone. So, Nnazi Nnamdi Kanu has taught us critical thinking, and we have to think critical and act critically until Biafra is restored. Biafra is the last hope for everybody, not even the white people. White people is tired of immigrants. So Biafra, the way they said Biafra is light of Africa, we are travelers. We have traveled and we have seen the reason why we must keep the light shining. The little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. And that is Biafra. Thank you all.
Udo Diri, we thank you all for your steadfastness and your good work, because it's not easy from your very different locations. All right, Biafran should remember that our mega fundraising is coming up on the 1st of October, which nothing is going to happen in Biafra land as far as Biafrans are concerned, do not waste your time thinking that you want to do anything First October Remembrance Day in our land. Let us remind you something. By the time you say First October Remembrance Day or celebration, you are validating one Nigeria for killing your brothers and sisters. That is what you should understand. Because they killed you to keep one Nigeria as one. No be we talk more. Now them they always come tell us, say we killed over millions to keep Nigeria as one. And that it was a tax for them to have done it. And they are ready to continue to do it more. So when you allow anything First October independence in Biafra land, you are validating the killings of your brothers and sisters and mothers and the raping of our children and women. So we don't want anything Nigeria in Biafra territory again. Come with your friends and family and keep yourself busy on this very 1st October as we raise money to support Eastern Security Network and our quest for freedom. Biafra is our only hope and nothing can stop us. Thank you very much for watching and for being there with us. We love you all. And from us from here, we say, Odo dire, Odo dire, Odo dire to all Biafrans.
God bless you all, Biafrans.
God bless you all.
God bless you all. Keep secured.
Internet is hooking up. Wait. I want to know hook now. We won't play our final message. Come on here.
I cannot guarantee you that any elections will hold anymore in our land. And killing of armless and defenseless IPOB members and Mossab and other Biafra agitators, this can no longer be tolerated by us. We, the unrecognized voices of the Ipob Autopilot, as they call us, all over the world, demand with immediate effect the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. I cannot guarantee you that any elections will hold anymore in our land. We hereby declare no election, no 2023 general election in Biafra land. This no election in Biafra land has been activated. We are going to make it a task that must be done by every Biafran. All measures will be put in place to make sure the adequate civil disobedience is implemented to stop the election in Biafra land. I cannot guarantee you that any elections will hold anymore in our land. I don't know what. I don't know if we are suffering from politicians. I don't know where this disease is coming from. We must cure it. I want our enemies to understand how fanatical we are about this quest to liberate Biafra from the shackles of the iniquitous zoological republic. You need to understand this very clearly. We are not going to stop. We are not going back. I don't care what you say. It doesn't matter what your report says. I don't care the countries putting it together. It is irrelevant to me. What matters is the liberation of Biafra. Therefore, if Katrina Lang has any brain in her skull, if all those idiots encouraging the zoo to continue, if they have any brain in their skull, they will say, let us allow Biafra to go with their trouble, because I can assure you, as night follows day, that Biafra must come or we all die in the process. Do you know why? Because what we are looking for is what belongs to us. I am asking for something that I had before the white man came. White man is not God. He's not God. God is in heaven. I assure you, God Almighty is in heaven, and his will must be done upon our lives. They are not God. Nobody can create a country for me. I decide where I want to belong to. The people must decide if Nigeria is a country or not a white man. All these idiots suffering from inferiority complex, shame on all of you. You are foolish, useless black people. Because of your stupidity, that is why Africa is being treated the way it is today, like a trash can, more or less. As Trump said, a shithole. A white man has no business creating country for me, because I am the kind as a black man. I cannot go to Europe to create a country for them. Why then should I allow a white man and a drunken white woman to come to my land to create country for me?